Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we're back with another PFL prediction video on the channel. Today giving my predictions for PFL Champion Series, Nurmagomedov versus Hughes 2. So the last PFL event was PFL Europe last weekend. It was actually not a bad card. There's quite a few good finishes and stuff on it, and I think we only got 2 picks wrong on the whole card, so overall we did pretty decently. But obviously we've got a pretty good card this week. It looks pretty stacked, so before I get into it, make sure you guys are new around here and you're enjoying this content, you go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it's really appreciated. So this week's card is in Dubai. There is 11 fights in total. I'm going to kick things off with the first prelim of Jarrah Hussein Al-Silawi versus Gregory Babene. Now, Al-Silawi is 20-7. The Jordan man currently lost his last fight to Dafrawy by KO in round number 1, but won 2 in a row before that. Hasn't had the best of time in PFL. He's 3-4 in total, but he has lost to some decent opponents. I mean, he's been KO'd quite a few times in his career, but he does have some good wins himself, around his losses in the PFL. So he's not the worst fighter in the world. His opponent, Gregory Babene, on the other hand, is 23-12 record, 41 years old, so pretty old now. Was on a pretty good winning streak. I mean, with his one loss coming in 2013, he hadn't lost since then until last year. He lost to Van Steenis by submission, but obviously Van Steenis went on to win the title, so not the worst loss really. But so he has got some decent wins in Bellator and stuff, but he is getting on a bit now. So honestly, this fight is close. Both these guys are not bad fighters, they're decent, but I'm going to back Al-Silawi to win this one. I mean, I could see Babene winning, but I'm backing Al-Silawi to win by submission. Now, moving up the card, we go to Makhachev Zaynukov versus John Mitchell. Now, Zaynukov is 17-4, Russian man, currently on a 6-fight winning streak at the minute, 5 or 6 fight winning streak. He's got 2 wins in the PFL. His last 2 fights, both come by way of decision. Last loss in 2021, got KO'd there. So he wins most of his fights by decisions, as most of these Russians do, to be fair. And he looks decent, to be fair. He just beat Izumi in his last fight, got the decision win. John Mitchell, on the other hand, is 10-2, Irishman, 30 years old. Currently on a 2-fight win streak. I mean, he's been doing some boxing this year, but he's on a 2-fight win streak, 1 win in the PFL. Did get KOs from Kasuba, undefeated man, but around that, he's looked pretty good. I mean, he's got a few wins by KO himself, and also a submission win recently as well. So I do think Mitchell is a decent fighter, but I just don't think Zaynukov is going to lose to him. So I'm going to back Zaynukov to win by decision. And now we move up the card to Takeshi Izumi versus Vinicius Cenci. Now, Izumi, we literally just mentioned him. He's a 6-4 Japanese man, 36 years of age. All 6 of his wins have actually come by decision. He's lost 2 decisions himself and then been KO'd twice. Obviously, his last fight was against Zaynukov, where he lost by decision. Did a win in Rizin before that by decision, but then got KO'd in his last fight before that. But he has a few decent wins in different promotions back in 2022 and 2023. But he's only won 1 out of his last 3 fights recently. His opponent, Vinicius Cenci, is a 9-3 Brazilian man, 29 years old, so the younger fighter in this fight. Currently, I mean, obviously he was on a really good run for a bit. With he had when he was 7-1, had literally all wins by submission, rear naked chokes and stuff. He looked pretty good, and then he fought Sam Patterson on the Contender Series, lost that fight by submission himself. But since then, he's only lost once to Brent Primus by submission, and then he got his own win by submission in his last fight in the PFL over Tony Caruso. So I do think that Cenci will win this. I just don't think Izumi is good enough against this opponent. So I'm going to back Cenci to win, and I'm going to back him to win by submission. Now, moving up the card to Luan Sardinha versus Mirafzal Akhtamov. Now, Sardinha is a 9-1 Brazilian man, 29 years of age. Currently only on a 1-fight winning streak. He got a KO this year over an opponent. Before that, lost a split decision to an undefeated Marquez in LFA. Had a no contest before that, but was 8-0 at one point. Looked really good. Beat Caolan Fernandez in LFA, who obviously is doing quite well in the UFC at the minute. And yeah, he's he does have a pretty good record. There's Sardinha with some good wins as well in his career. I mean, his only loss was split decision, so a close fight there. His opponent, Akhtamov, is 8-1-1 Uzbekistani man, 32 years of age. Currently on his last fight, he lost by a doctor's stoppage in round number 2 this year. But before that, was undefeated. I mean, he looked pretty good with quite a few wins by finish in his career. I mean, he's got 4 submissions, 3 KOs. So this is definitely a close fight. He's also fought in LFA before, like his opponent. So definitely could go either way, this one. Both these guys are pretty good with good records as well. But I'm going to back the Brazilian man in Sardinha to win this one. I just like his record, like some of the opponents he's beat. So I'm going to back him to win by decision. And now, moving up the card to Omar El Dafrawy versus Florim Zendeli. Now, El Dafrawy is an Egyptian man, 14-5 record, 30 years of age. I mean, he has 5 losses, but he hasn't lost since 2023. I mean, he's been on a pretty good run at the minute, especially in the PFL. He's got like 3 finishes in a row coming into this fight. 2 wins by KO, 1 win by submission. So he does look pretty good. I mean, he has many finishes on his record as well. 8 wins by KO, 3 wins by submission. So he's a good fighter. Zendeli, on the other hand, is 10-1-1 Albanian man. On a pretty good win streak as well. Coming into this fight, 4 wins in a row. 3 wins by finish as well. So does look good. Both these guys do like a finish. Only 1 loss back in 2021. Got KO'd in round number 1. So both these guys do look pretty good. Should be a fun match, this one. But I'm going to back the Egyptian man to win this one. I just think he's looked good in the PFL recently. I mean, he's on like 4 fights in a row. So I'm going to back El Dafrawy to win. And he might get the KO, but I'm going to back him to win by decision. Now, moving up the card to Puya Rahmani versus Slim Trabelsi. Now, Rahmani is a 4-0 United Arab Emirates man, 33 years of age. I mean, obviously, these two already fought recently in a grappling match, and he actually got the win over Trabelsi by decision in that match. So he was this. I don't know if that's going to play a factor into this match because this is an MMA match, but just so he's a better grappler, I suppose. But he's had 4 fights in his career. All have came by round 1 finish. 3 wins in a row by submission. His first win came by KO. So he looks good. I mean, he's not been fighting like that bad of opponents either. Rahmani, his opponent, Slim Trabelsi, is an 8-0 Tunisian man or Polish man. I'm not really sure. I think he might fight out of Poland, but he's Tunisian. But he looks good as well. I mean, he's obviously undefeated. Got some decent wins as well on his record. His last fight was a split decision win over Babene. Beat Louis Sutherland by decision before that, who was meant to fight in the UFC recently. Does have a win over some ex-UFC fighters as well. So I do think he's a good fighter, but I mean, he's already lost to Rahmani in a grappling match. I just think that Rahmani fighting in his home country, I feel like he's going to get the win. Both of these guys are undefeated, but I'm going to back Rahmani to win by submission. And now, moving up to the main card now, Jack Cartwright versus Caolan Loughran. Now, Jack Cartwright is a 12-2 Englishman, 31 years of age. Currently, he's been fighting in Octagon recently. Went 2-1 in his got 2 wins and then 1 lost by decision. Before that, obviously, was on the Contender Series back in 2022. Lost the decision to Jose Johnson after he was had a really good record in Cage Warriors. Defended the belt 3 or 4 times, and he looked good. And then he's not been doing as well recently, but he's only got 2 losses on his record, both coming by unanimous decision. Caolan Loughran, on the other hand, is a 10-2 Irishman, 29 years old. This is his first fight outside of the UFC. Was meant to fight McGrill and Evans, I think, but that got cancelled, and now he's fighting on this card. I do think Loughran's quite good. I mean, he's obviously only lost twice in the UFC to Lapulus and Jake Hadley. Got the split decision win over Nathan Fletcher. I can't actually remember if that was a robbery, I'm not sure, but he got the win in that fight. He went 2-2, I think, in total in the UFC. So, and also had a pretty decent Cage Warriors run. So, I just think Loughran should win this fight, really. Jack Cartwright is good, but Loughran, obviously with the UFC experience, fought some decent opponents. I reckon Loughran is going to win this fight by decision. Now, moving up the card to Archie Colgan versus JJ Wilson. Now, Archie Colgan is a 12-0 American man, 30 years of age, undefeated. I mean, what can you say? I mean, most of his wins have come by decision. He's got 6 wins in total by decision. He has got 5 wins by KO as well, but seems like most of them came early on in his career because he's currently on a 5-fight winning streak, all wins coming by unanimous decision. So he's getting the job done, not finishing in many people, but he's still getting the wins. Beat some decent opponents as well in Bellator and stuff. So he's a good fighter. It's Colgan. JJ Wilson on the other hand is an 11-1 New Zealand man, 28 years old. Went 9-1 in Bellator. Currently 1-0 in the PFL. Beat Mads Burnell in his last fight by KO, which is impressive to be fair. Only lost once, which was to Rabadanov by decision, who obviously is a good fighter. We've seen him before. But he does look good. I mean, he's got some decent wins in total. But, I mean, what can you say? Both of these guys are quite good. Similar records. JJ Wilson with only 1 loss. Archie Colgan with no losses. So, I can see this going either way. Both of these are pretty decent fighters. But I'm going to back the undefeated man in Colgan to get this job done. And I reckon he gets it done by decision. And now we move up the card to Magomed Magomedov versus Sergio Pettis. Now, Magomed Magomedov is a crazy name. I mean, it's he looks like one of the most inbred people I've ever seen. But he's 21-4 Russian man, 33 years old. I mean, his only last 2 losses have both came to patchy mix. Lost by guillotine, then lost by split decision. But around that, he just beat a 15-1 Kamidov in that fight. I'm pretty sure that was that was a pretty close fight. He wouldn't by unanimous decision though in that fight, but I think some people were scoring to Kamidov. I'm not really sure. But also submitted Danny Sabatello, submitted Barzola. I mean, he's got many wins by submission in his career, 11 in total. Also 7 wins by decision. So he's a decent fighter. Has lost to basically all his losses have come to quite good opponents like Peter Yan back in his day, then Patchy Mix, who's also in the UFC, and then lost to Stotts as well. But his opponent, Sergio Pettis, is 24-7 American man, 32 years old. Is a pretty good fighter. He's currently coming off a win. His last fight over Stotts, who we just mentioned, beat Magomedov in that fight. So let's do the MMA maths there. But did have 2 losses in a row before that. Obviously, had the belt in Bellator, defended it a couple of times, beat Pitbull and Horiguchi. I don't know how to say his name, but went 9-5 in total in the UFC as well. Was not a bad fight, really, to be fair. But he did well in Bellator until he lost to Patchy Mix, and then he's bounced back with a win this year. So this is definitely going to be a close fight. I think both of these guys are pretty good fighters, but I'm going to back Pettis to win this one. I mean, he's both these guys coming off a win, but I'm going to back Pettis to win by decision. And now, moving up to the co-main event, Corey Anderson versus Dovletdzhan Yagshimuradov. Now, I think this is for the light heavyweight title or something like that, but Corey Anderson is a 19-6 American man, 36 years of age. I think both of them are 36 years of age, to be fair. But currently on a 3-fight winning streak at the minute. Got a split decision win over Phil Davies, beat Kalmer, then KO'd Goltsov in his last fight. I mean, his last loss was to Nemkov since leaving the UFC. But around that, he has obviously beat Yagshimuradov before. Got the KO in round number 3 in their first meeting, but that was quite a few years ago. But obviously, he's on a decent run in the minute. Anderson, he's looking good. Yagshimuradov is also on a good run. The Turkmenistan man is 25-7-1. 36 years of age as well. Currently on a 7-fight win streak at the minute. Quite a few wins come by decision, a few wins by KO as well. Obviously KO'd Impe Kasanganay in his last fight in the 2024 championships. That was pretty impressive. Obviously his last 2 losses were one was to Corey Anderson, one was to Albrechtsen. So he's a good fighter. Honestly, I could see him winning this one, but I just feel like Corey Anderson is a good fighter as well. Obviously has the win over Yagshimuradov in his so that might come into play here. I'm not so sure. Obviously Yagshimuradov has improved since that fight. Obviously that was 4 years ago or something now. But I don't know. I can just see Corey Anderson winning this one again, but I reckon he gets it done by decision. Now, we move up to the main event. Usman Nurmagomedov versus Paul Hughes. Now, Nurmagomedov, 19-0, Russian man, 27 years of age. He looks good, doesn't he? He's a very good fighter. He's had one no contest in his career. The rest he's won in Bellator, and then in PFL he's beat Paul Hughes by majority decision in his last fight. I mean, it was a close one. That was I think a lot of people thought Nurmagomedov. I'm pretty sure I predicted that fight when the last thing that I thought Nurmagomedov would win easily, but Paul Hughes put up a decent fight in that fight, and Paul Hughes is 14-2, Irish man, 28 years old. Since that loss to Nurmagomedov, he actually came back with a win in May this year. Got the KO over Bruno Miranda. Obviously, Nurmagomedov hasn't fought since that fight. So, also, Paul Hughes is a very good fighter. He's got some good wins on his record as well, in like Cage Warriors and in the PFL. So, I do think this one should be another close fight. I can't see much really changing since the last one. I just feel like it's going to be a good scrap again. And I just think I want Paul Hughes to win, but I can't see it happening, so I'm going to back Nurmagomedov to win by decision. So there we have it. There are my picks for this week's PFL card. Let me know down in the comments if you do agree or disagree with any of my picks. And that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.